Nick. That's the first question because we just asked Fossey this. Thomas did it anyway, but with Helcris Olivares, buddy, uh, what is your and some of these decisions are probably a little bit out of your hands, but how do you balance not wanting to push someone too fast, someone so young, with your with your excitement, if there is some, about what he might be able to do in the majors eventually.
Well, I think that you said it. I think you said it, Nick. Eventually, in most cases, the players will let you know when they're ready. It's a process that all players go through to signal when they are ready, and it's a day-to-day process. It's what we see as coaches, what we see as executives through our conversations, and their total body of work on a daily basis, and not just in games. Right? It's conversations. I like to say that every day is a test. Regardless of whether you're in competition or not, that gives you indications when players are ready to either move levels or eventually get to the major leagues. So with Olivares, there's no doubt that we like the talent. We like the arm. We like his fastball, his breaking pitch, his changeup. But there has to be some level of consistency that is shown over time that will make him feel as though he's ready, and his confidence and our confidence in him. So, and it takes time. And with him, there's still a ways to go as far as that development.
On the list of 1,000 things or more
Right.
that are a bummer about not having minor league seasons last year, I mean, are you gonna? But on some of these people, just in general, not even just on health,
Right.
but in general, are you eventually gonna have to kind of just take a few more risks?
Sure.
Because they're
Yeah.
as big.
Well, I don't know the risks. I mean, there are guys that you might have to push up a level just because you think that they have that skill set and that talent to handle it, and you hope that they do. And history's proven that there are times when if you push guys, they do perform. They perform to the level that they're at. And other guys struggle, and they have to be sent back until they get to that place where they can move back up. So, timelines are different for different players, and I think that's been, something that's been shown in the history of the game.
Gotcha. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, buddy. Where do you feel that starting pitching depth is at this point? Obviously, I think you've talked about going into this season with at least 8 guys that you feel you can throw out there in a major league game. Some years you haven't needed that many, but
Right.
most years you do.
Well, again, I think every organization will tell you that you need starting pitching depth in case there's an injury or lack of performance by one of your initial 5 starting pitchers. So with us, we, with Herman and John, Antonio, Kyle, Gomber, Chichi, Gonzalez, Derek Rodriguez, Ryan Castellani. That's 8 right there. Ryan Rollison, he probably adds to that depth as well. Jose Mujica adds to that depth. Antonio Santos, where we end up, putting him, whether he remains a starter or pitch in the bullpen. We're in the process of determining that, his long-term place. But those are the names that we're looking at, the guys that, are starting pitchers.
I think we see Mujica maybe tomorrow, and where does Santos come in as far as pitching?
Santos is throwing a simulated game today. Him and Ibar and Oberg, they'll be throwing down here to hitters, continuing their progression. But Santos feels good physically. He's throwing the ball great. He had a little bit of a delayed start because of some travel issues, but he's here now, and on board and catching up a little bit, which he's not too far behind. He's stayed in pretty good shape over the off season with throwing programs. So, he'll be in games before too long.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Tracy Ringlesby, go ahead, Trace.
Hey, buddy, this is about Stefosnik too, but when you look at the core of your rotation, the big four or the established four, Gray came up a year earlier, but they've all come through the system, even Marquez, who you acquired as a minor leaguer, and they've been around each other. It seems like there's a tightness there that you don't always see on a team because of their similarities in their background.
Totally agree, Trace. I think that, and that's for me, being a part of a young staff as far back as you can remember in Kansas City with the group that we had, there's a great camaraderie there, and there's an element of each other pushing each other and bringing out the best in each other. And I think that's, it's happened here with that group. They're settled in. They've solidified themselves. They understand the responsibility it takes to be a starting pitcher and what their role means every night that they pitch. Their performance a lot of times dictates the outcome of the win or the loss for our team, and the same goes for the opposing starting pitcher. And I think those guys cherish that responsibility and that part of that big part of what it means to be a big league starting pitcher. They get it, and it's fun to watch these guys interact, go through their day, and it's been fun for me to watch them grow over the last 4 years.
I guess the other thing about it is they come from such a different background type thing. Like, at least you have the two Latin pitchers, John Gray and Freeland, who aren't really, you wouldn't call them identical twins by any stretch of the imagination. But there seems to be a bonding.
Yeah, they're all unique in their own way. They're all different, but yet similar in a lot of characteristics that make up a good, solid starting pitcher. I love their interaction. Right, they pull hard for each other. They work out together. They're on the same starting pitcher regiment. That we go through each and every day through spring training and during the regular season. They know what they've been in each other's shoes, so there's a natural common bond there amongst these guys. So, and the thing about it, they're great competitors. They're high character guys. They're good guys. They're good people. The type of guys you want to pull for all the time. They've been great Rockies. They set a great standard for the rest of the pitchers who are here in camp and future pitchers that come to the big leagues.
Thank you, sir.
I'll go to Kevin Henry, and then we'll finish up with Kyle Frederickson. Kevin, go ahead.
Morning, buddy.
Morning, Kevin.
Question for you. With Diaz and Estevez, how important is it that those guys are healthy kind of for that bullpen plan that you're putting together?
Really, really important. Whoever ends up making our team in the bullpen, performance out of those guys is critical for us to have consistency and be able to win games we should win when we have leads late in the game or games are close. Their overall performance dictates so many outcomes of games. And I believe that we're going to be in a lot of games because of our starting pitching. And the relievers have to carry on those outs as they come into the game and as we move forward into the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. So and Estevez and Diaz will be a part of that, as will Bard and Oberg and Kinley and Almonte and Stevenson and whoever makes our team. I mean, bullpen success is critical to a team's success, just like starting pitching is so critical to a team's success. So it's going to take all of them. We can't afford to have 3 or 4 guys in our bullpen have off years. We saw that last year, and we saw the results of that. So those 2 guys are extremely important. Every year's different. We don't know how it's going to play out. That's why we play. I know you guys get tired of me saying that, but it's so true. And hopefully at the end of October, we can look back and say that Carlos and Jairo had great years just like they did in 2019.
And one quick follow-up, with Estevez, you've been able to see his velocity return and everything after the injury last year?
You know, he's working into his stuff now, Kevin. I think his last outing, the velocity wasn't quite where we're going to see it during the season. You know, it's March 8th. We're looking forward to April 1st and beyond. He's still, like a lot of guys, they're still working into their stuff.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, Kyle Frederickson, Denver Post. Go ahead.
Hey, buddy, just one quick one from me. You know, Kyle Freeland early in spring training made the comment that he's excited to shock the world this season. How have you seen that confidence manifest itself just in his day-to-day work in spring training and then just especially ahead of his first start here?
Well, Kyle's, you know, he sets a great tone, not only for the pitching staff but the team. Extremely competitive, extremely driven, all the things that you love in a great competitor. And, you know, Kyle doesn't like a lot of the things that have been written about our organization. And he's doing everything in his powers to, you know, to make some of those comments come back to haunt some people. So he's driven in that regard, which I think is great because he's got great investment in this organization, in the city of Denver and the state of Colorado. And he's taken that responsibility from a leadership standpoint, and you know, spreading that type of sentiment amongst the guys.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Okay, guys, thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
You got it.